Hey scholars, today we will continue working with ordering rational numbers using the strategy of using number lines to help us decide how to order them from least to greatest or greatest to least. To recap what we learned in previous lessons, to order rational numbers from least to greatest, we list them in the order they appear on a number line from left to right. So least to greatest corresponds from left to right on number line. For example, we see that the numbers -2 and 7/10, -1 and 3/10, and 8/10 are listed from least to greatest because of the order they appear on a number line. You see here that based on the number line how it looks, -2 and 7/10 is less than -1 and 3/10, which is less than 8/10, because as you go to the right, they get greater in value. So just to help practice this from yesterday's lesson and this review from today, I want you now to use your number sense to decide for all of these 8 problems, should you use a greater than symbol, less than symbol, or equal symbol. Pause here just for some quick practice, and then we're going to continue after you have some moment to decide what symbol should go where. Here are the answers to all 8 problems. I gave hints that are highlighted to help you decide why they're greater than, less than, or equal to. Pause here if you need to ask clarifying questions before we move forward to the next part of the lesson. We're now going to see some star-like problems about this concept and practice using a number line to help us answer these questions. So I'm going to model for you the first one and then help you in a second, and then you're going to do the last one on the last page by yourself and check your work after each question. So for these questions, we're going to read a word problem and decide how to rank them from least to greatest or greatest to least using a number line to help us. So number 1 says, order the list of temperatures from coldest to warmest. I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to annotate here and think to myself, if I'm going from coldest to warmest, I want to go from least because cold means low, and to greatest because when you get warmer, you get greater. Use a number line to show your reasoning. So I see some numbers here, and we're going to use a number line to help us out. And here, when we do a number line now, we can use just an estimation of where numbers are to help us decide. So I see that I have a -10, an 8, and -5 compared to a 0. Looking at my negatives, -10 and -5, I know that -10 should be further away than -5 because it's more negative. So I'm going to do a ballpark estimation of where they are. And then I see that 8 is positive, so it's going to be on the right side of the 0. So I have an estimation now with my number line of where the numbers are, and I can use this to help me list from least to greatest or coldest to warmest. Because my least one should be on the way left, which is -10 degrees Fahrenheit. My second least is -5 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I have 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And then last, on the way right, I have 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see that my number line helped me decide how to list my numbers. So let's try another example, and now we're going to get some more challenging problems where we have some decimals and some fractions. So let's read it together and think of a strategy of how we're going to approach this. Alita will use 6 different wires for a science project. The fractions represent the diameters of these wires in inches. 7/16, 1/2, 3/8, 9/32, 5/16, and 15/32. Order the diameters of the wires in order from least to greatest. I'm going to highlight what I need to do, smallest to largest. Use the number line to show your reasoning. Now here, I see that I have some challenges. They're all different units of fractions, so I need to convert them all to the same unit. And I noticed that I have 2 of them out of a fraction of 32, and I could convert all the other 4 into fractions out of 32. So that's my first task I'm going to help you do to start, and you're going to finish off. I need to convert 9 over 16. I need to convert 1 over 2, 3 over 8, and 5 over 16. So I have to ask myself, how can I make these all into over 32? To do that, I have to ask myself, what number am I multiplying by to make it into 32? For example, this first fraction, I'm multiplying by 2 to get to 32. So to find my new numerator, I do the same thing, and I'm going to get 14 out of 32. So this fraction here is also equivalent to 14 out of 32. So right now, convert the other 3 into fractions out of 32, and then we'll use that to help us rank them from least to greatest. Pause here so you have some time to work on converting these 3 fractions. Check your math here, but 1/2 is the same as 16 over 32, 3/8 is the same thing as 12 over 32, and 5/16 is the same as 10 over 32. Now the great thing is that since they're now all out of the same denominator, I can now just look at these numerators and see how they compare to go from least to greatest, because they have the same denominator of 32. And I can use a number line to help me out. So I see they're all positive, so I'm going to put a 0 here to start off. I'm going to just put them into order from least to greatest. I see that, let me actually change this a little bit. I should be highlighting this 14 right here to make the same unit. So I see that I have first 9 over 32, then I have 10 over 32, which is the same as 5 over 16, then I have 12 over 32, same as 3 over 8, then I have 14 over 32, same as 7/16. Then I have the 15 over 32, and then the 16 over 32, same as 1/2. I'm going to highlight all the numbers as they are in original form from the problem. 7/16. I had 1/2, 3/8, 9 over 32, 5/16, and 15 over 32. So if I was going to write these from least to greatest, I would write 9 over 32, 5/16, 3/8, 7 over 16, 15 over 32, 1/2. So that's how the strategy, you want to make sure that you have the same unit so you can help read them all from least to greatest and use your number line to help you order them and organize your work. Now it's your turn to try some problems on the back of your packet today. So let's transition now to the last page. And you're going to do this on your own and check the work after you given some time to work. I'll read it for you so you can help plan your work. A store manager analyzed the change in sales of various products from last month to this month. The percent increases and decreases in sales are shown in the table. Order the values from greatest to least. That's super important. Use the number line to support your reasoning. So we need to compare these 5 numbers from greatest to least and use our number line to help us organize our work. I'm going to start you off by making a number line. I would mimic what I draw here so it can help you work. You're going to make some spaces that are pretty spaced out and go by ones. And then you're going to mark those 4 or 5 numbers in the number line and use that to help you list it from greatest to least. Pause here so you have some time to work, and then continue when you are done to check your math. Check your work here. You see where I did a highlight of where each number goes on number line? Be mindful of where they're placed relative to the tick marks. And I did greatest to least, so it's going to be 3, then 2 and 91/100ths, then -3/10, then -9/10, then -1 and 1/100th. All right, we have one more to go. And we see here a table. We're going to do the similar strategy like the front page, and I'm going to start you off. It says the table shows the amount of time 4 students practiced the trumpet one day. Cole practiced for 1 2/3, Gus for 1 1/2, Ryan for 1 1/4, Jacob for 1 7/12. Order the values from least to greatest and use the number line to support your reasoning. So they're all positive, so I'm going to just start you off number line, start with a 0 here, and use that to guide you how you order them with your strategy. But I notice again that all of these are in different units, and we'll make them all the same. So I'm going to show you some scaffolds here, and I want you now to think about how can I convert these all to be out of this bigger number here, so make them all out of 12ths. That will be your first step in your work. This one's good to go, so it doesn't have to change. And then once they're all in 12ths, use that to help you order the numbers, and then use that to write your list from least to greatest. So pause here so you have some time to work, and continue the video when you have finished your problem. Check your work here so you can see how you did. I converted each fraction into an equivalent one out of 12. Then I used that to list them in order on my number line, using the 12ths to help me order from least to greatest. And then I expressed my answer from least to greatest using the original problem, where the smallest is 1 1/4, then 1 1/2, then 1 7/12, then 1 2/3. Ask any questions you may have to wrap up the lesson, and then continue to the X ticket at the end of class.